Welcome to DAT 106. My name is Brian Raver, and I lead a global team in the technology and innovation area at SAP. We have responsibility for SAP HANA and database solution management. I'm particularly excited to present today on the topic of extending on-premises SAP HANA landscapes to the cloud with hybrid deployments of SAP HANA Cloud. Over the past 10 years, I've had the great privilege of working with customers all over the world as you discovered and realized the business value of SAP HANA. Even getting to visit many of you back in those glorious days when travel and in-person meetings were a thing. We all know that data plays a pivotal role in the digital economy, perhaps now during a global pandemic more than ever. This means that organizations need to be able to fully harness the power of data, regardless of location, size, or format. And enterprises must become data-driven businesses in order to produce actionable insights and make accurate, fact-based decisions. To do this effectively requires connecting the value chain of data to enable intelligent systems that drive confident business decisions. And in doing so, organizations will be able to see, understand, do, and impact more. Which brings us to our underlying goal, providing a data foundation that enables every business and every professional to establish a data superpower, instantly turning data into business value. I mentioned that I've been involved with SAP HANA for 10 years now. In fact, my first deep discussion on SAP HANA took place at TechEd Las Vegas in 2010, when I was on the customer side of the equation. Little did I know at the time that less than 10 months later, my team would be going live with this new technology. And only a few months later, I would find myself back at SAP helping other customers. I'm sure you can't help but know the history here. SAP HANA was launched in 2010 and became generally available in mid-2011. At that time, we knew we had something very special with an in-memory data platform, and the focus was heavily on what we might now refer to as sidecar data marts. 2012 saw the rapid uptake of SAP BW on HANA as we raced toward the SAP Business Suite on HANA shortly thereafter, proving that SAP HANA was truly capable of running combined transactions and analytics on the same platform. In 2015, we launched the next generation of ERP with SAP S/4HANA, a redesigned solution built to natively take advantage of the benefits SAP HANA provides. And of course, BW for HANA would follow soon after, taking the same cue of adapting to new paradigms. The full SAP portfolio wasn't far behind, with cloud solutions like Ariba and SuccessFactors making the move as well. In parallel, the so-called multi-model engines became prevalent, offering capabilities like spatial analysis, graph processing, JSON document storage, and of course, predictive and machine learning algorithms in the same platform, avoiding the sprawl of specialized databases for niche processing. And finally, we started to see the real emergence of cloud data ecosystems, which SAP has embraced both by providing the flexibility to run SAP HANA in your cloud service provider of choice, as well as providing interoperability with offerings available in these ecosystems. The natural next step was SAP HANA Cloud, a truly cloud-native, fully managed database as a service that was released earlier this year. With a few quarterly releases under our belt, this is our driving force for continued innovation, providing the bridge for our customers in their journey from on-premises to the cloud, and enabling hybrid scenarios so that you can adopt at the pace that makes sense for your business. With that, I'd like to roll a short video to introduce SAP HANA Cloud and the hybrid deployment scenario.
Launched in 2010, SAP HANA pioneered the in-memory database market, combining transactional and analytic workloads on a single data platform. While SAP HANA customers were deriving enormous value from SAP HANA, the broader data environment continued to explode with opportunity, and cloud data ecosystems emerged to manage the volume and variety of sources. All of this combined with the ever-expanding use of cloud applications. This created two challenges: getting meaningful insights in an efficient manner, and connecting this cloud data with the core enterprise applications. In early 2020, SAP brought SAP HANA Cloud to the market with the promise of serving as a single gateway to all enterprise data. As a truly cloud-native service, including a fully managed and elastic database as a service, SAP HANA Cloud is the next generation of SAP HANA. SAP HANA Cloud also includes a high-performance data lake, enabling petabyte-scale data management natively integrated in the same solution and available from a common interface. An immediate opportunity for customers is to use SAP HANA Cloud to extend and protect their on-premise SAP HANA investments while connecting to cloud data sources in order to overcome the challenges we identified. Now let's take a quick look at how this works. Here you can see how we're creating a connection between SAP HANA Cloud and SAP HANA On-premise by setting up a remote source in the SAP HANA Database Explorer. This connection is supported by a data provisioning agent, which can be easily used with SAP HANA Cloud. We can also connect to other cloud services, such as Amazon Athena. You can do this via the UI, or like we're showing now, via SQL if you prefer. It's then very easy to create virtual tables. If you need a boost in the performance of your virtual tables, you can use replication to do that. Here you can see how fast it is to do it using SQL statements. So to summarize, SAP HANA Cloud enables you to expand access to new stakeholders while preserving the performance and security of the underlying core system. In addition, by serving as a single gateway that bridges to all your data, such as HANA On-premise or AWS Athena in the cloud, SAP HANA Cloud can serve as an ideal foundation to combine data and extract deeper insights, while giving you the confidence to grow into the cloud at your own speed, extending and enhancing the investments you've already made on-premise. With the abundance of cloud database options in the market, SAP HANA Cloud stands far above the rest. SAP HANA Cloud provides a single solution that gives you the necessary tools to thrive in today's ever-changing technological environment, where data is the new superpower.
You've heard us talk about SAP HANA Cloud as the gateway to all enterprise data. In my mind, I like to think of this as a single pane of glass, a place you go to get visibility to your entire data ecosystem without necessarily physically putting all of the data there. This is a concept we'll explore further in just a moment. In addition to the gateway theme, another important innovation is the unification of in-memory and multi-tier processing. In other words, not all data has to be in memory all the time. With SAP HANA Cloud, we offer multiple tiers. With in-memory for hot, the disk-based native storage extension for warm, and the new data lake based on IQ technology for cold data. And of course, deployment flexibility and openness remain key pillars to our strategy. SAP HANA Cloud is available on AWS and Azure today, with Alibaba on the roadmap for this quarter, if not already by the time you're watching this, and GCP planned in 2021. Ultimately, what SAP HANA Cloud provides is the power and performance you've already come to know over the past 10 years with SAP HANA, combined with the economics, scalability, and elasticity that you expect in the cloud. This slide goes a level deeper, and candidly, I'll leave most of this to my colleagues presenting in the follow-on sessions. However, there are a few concepts I wanted to explore here that I think are important to our hybrid topic. First of all, I want to quickly mention the SAP HANA engine at the core of SAP HANA Cloud in the diagram. You'll hear a lot of detail about the components that make up that engine in other sessions. But I want to make sure everyone understands that this is essentially the same SAP HANA you already know, just adapted to run more efficiently in a cloud-native architecture. I bring this up only to make the point that the vast majority of operations you're doing in SAP HANA today will function exactly the same here. The next topics I want to discuss are where it gets a little different, in a good way, of course. These are the topics of virtualization and persistence. You saw virtualization in the video, and the key point here is that we have a mantra now at SAP, that we don't have to collect all data, but rather need to provide the capability to connect to any data source. You might argue that this is an extension of what we already had in SAP HANA with Smart Data Access. And you would be right. In SAP HANA Cloud, we introduce new connectors, especially for cloud-based data sources like Amazon Athena and Google BigQuery. With this virtual access layer, we enable that single pane of glass that I mentioned earlier. Additionally, with the ability to turn on caching or even flip to replication, we get the greatest flexibility. And of course, once we have that virtual access, we can apply the parts of SAP HANA that we love, transforming the data on the fly so that it can be combined with other data sets, analyzed for insights, or even anonymized using proven data privacy algorithms. Beyond the virtual access and this idea of connecting to data sets, we still recognize the need to collect in cases where the highest performance is required, or the source isn't capable of handling the workload. For this purpose, we continue to offer replication capabilities with additional enhancements. As a hint, make sure to watch the other sessions to learn about remote table replication from SAP HANA to SAP HANA Cloud. That said, and as I mentioned before, we have the persistence layers that allow for cost performance optimization of data storage. In particular, the SAP HANA Data Lake is new and provides an additional natively integrated storage layer, allowing for extremely large data capacities without sacrificing on the semantics of addressing that data. Now that we have a basic understanding of some key capabilities of SAP HANA Cloud, let's talk about use cases. Today's use cases for SAP HANA Cloud can be broken down into the 4 you see on the slide. Accelerating to the cloud is about a pure hybrid deployment scenario that extends on-premises landscapes with additional capacity in the cloud. Many of you have on-premises SAP HANA deployments that are mission critical for your business. As a result, you have to balance the level of access provided to this highly valuable data with the operational impacts that might occur if access is opened widely. We're seeing SAP HANA customers achieve this balance by provisioning instances in SAP HANA Cloud so that they have both compute and storage capacity in the cloud to handle the additional workloads while protecting their on-premises systems. They can leverage either virtualization or replication to make their on-premises data accessible in the cloud, and then take advantage of cloud scale and elasticity to confidently provide users with unbridled access. Centrally storing and managing data is the second use case and leans heavily on the new SAP HANA Data Lake to achieve extreme scale. In hybrid scenarios, we're seeing some on-premises SAP HANA customers flip the script by using the SAP HANA Cloud Data Lake as a sort of data tiering as a service. In other words, pushing high volume data to SAP HANA Cloud Data Lake, and then using the virtual access in reverse to expose that data to the on-premises SAP HANA for consumption along with the high value data that resides there. The simple access layer to all your data case is all about expanding horizons, using the advanced virtualization capabilities I already mentioned. I like to consider this as a logical expansion of the accelerate to the cloud case. Once you've started providing those users with the unbridled access, an obvious next step is to grow the data ecosystem by virtually connecting other data sets, especially other cloud sources, where that single pane of glass vision can come to reality. And last, but certainly not least, we see general purpose use cases. Personally, I feel that the words general purpose really understate the potential here. What we're after here is those challenging application scenarios that combine transactions and analytics, as well as push the boundaries of multi-model processing, allowing new paradigms in application design that you simply can't achieve with a commodity relational database system. To close out this conversation, I wanted to also share one example we saw with an early adopter of SAP HANA Cloud. This really brings together a combination of the accelerate to the cloud and simple access layer cases I just discussed. On the left, you see that this customer was trying to combine data from a cloud CRM with their on-premises SAP applications running on HANA. To achieve this required an overly complex architecture, shipping data between on-premises and the cloud. On the right, you see their new mode of operations, leveraging HANA Cloud to extend the on-premises SAP HANA systems, including remote table replication, combined with virtual access to the CRM data in the cloud. In the end, they achieved the single gateway to enterprise data and can consume insights from SAP HANA Cloud using SAP Analytics Cloud. The result is a simplified environment with all the power and performance of HANA, plus the flexibility of the cloud. As we wrap this session, I want to also invite you to take advantage of the free trial for SAP HANA Cloud. This is a great way to get started with a test drive and learn how you can begin extending your SAP HANA environments to the cloud. In addition, I'd like to recommend that you check out a few related sessions, in particular DAT 101, which will cover more of the technical aspects of topics that I've discussed here around hybrid scenarios. And finally, if you are looking to continue what you learn here at TechEd, here are some ways to keep the learning going. With that, I thank you for attending and wish you the best. I hope we have the opportunity to connect live in 2021. Thanks again.